Hey, Josh, we may not be your father, but we'll always be your daddy.
So is Daddy telling me a story about rewatching a movie or a TV show from your childhood now as an adult, and possibly realizing that there's some things in there that went way over your head, or maybe it's still as good as you remember, or maybe it's worse. Just tell me a story about
All right.
that.
For the recording, if you have a story to tell, which I'm sure you will, please step up to the microphone so we can have it memorialized forever. All right. So do you have one in mind, Joe?
Oh man. We watched a ton of movies growing up. Like that was one of my dad's love languages, was watching stuff together. And so, I mean, that's not really one of the love languages, but that's how he expressed family time. It was quality time together, and he did that through watching stuff. And we watched so many things that we had taped on TV, and going back and rewatching them, I'm like, oh, this was severely edited for television. And so it's just like they're watching Caddyshack now, or so many rated R movies that on TV it's like, okay, no, that's PG-13. And then going back, I'm like, oh no, that's very rated R. Revenge of the Geeks.
Nerds? Revenge of the Nerds?
Geeks.
Come on, nerd, get it right.
They all get revenge eventually.
Did you watch it?
On TV.
Okay.
I didn't rewatch. I looked at it. So I use IMDb's Parents Guide a lot.
Same.
And I have learned whenever I want to watch something from my childhood to look it up on there first.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee there is stuff that I did not see as
Oh,
a
no,
kid,
yeah.
or that
Oh,
went
yeah.
way over my head. And so that is an amazing guide before ever showing anything that I remember fondly from my youth to my kids.
So little backstory for Joe, grown up Mormon, holds a lot of lines at home. Then he comes here and goes to see Botched Live Sunday night at 10 p.m., which is Revenge of the Nerds in a live action show just about. So now I get that. The TV parts that got cut out were not for you, sir,
No,
for sure.
No, they were not at all. Well, you were talking about one before we
I
got.
have a million, because I grew up in a Christian home, so everything was off limits, and everything was also taped off TV. So one was, I have two real quick, Three Fugitives with Nick Nolte and Martin Short. So many F-bombs, so many dirty jokes that didn't make it to TV. And I watched it with Jackson because I wanted to show it to him. And I was like, this is a good movie we can watch together. And that always happens inevitably when you're watching with your kids.
Yeah.
You realize how bad it actually is. You're like, and then I called my dad up and I'm like, Dad, remember Three Fugitives? Oh, I love that movie. That movie was bad. He's like, no, it was fine. I'm like, have you ever seen No, he's never seen it.
No.
The other one was Firestarter.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe I was allowed to watch that. I mean, when what's her name? Who's the female lead? She gets stuffed in a closet after somebody kills her, and there's like blood and stuff. I'm like, whoa! How was I allowed to watch that? But there were certain movies like that my parents would like look past certain things, but then there was other things they would never let us watch. Mostly it was TV shows.
Well, and edited for TV isn't really a thing anymore.
No,
at all.
Okay,
no,
coming from the world of edited from TV, growing up in that,
yeah.
Every once in a while, I'm still a little shocked when I turn on something on Hulu or not, Hulu or Netflix or whatever you think. Like Hulu, you think TV, and then all of a sudden you see some language or nudity or graphic violence. Like, oh wait, yeah, this is still streaming. This is not actually TV. Mine was the horrible, horrible, horrible He-Man. I was never allowed to watch He-Man because by the power of Grayskull takes away from the power of God, and you can't do it. Smurfs. For a long time, I wasn't allowed to watch Smurfs because
I think we went to the same church.
Yeah. My favorite one though is Predator. See, my dad loved watching action movies, and my mom hated all of it to the point that she cross-stitched like what you take is what you put out, or evil in, evil out, or something like that, put it on top of the TV. So he would go and edit it all. And so the first time I saw Predator, it was really cool. And it was about 45 minutes long. And then when I got older, still not ready. I was still very sheltered, which we'll talk about in another segment. I was very sheltered. And the first scene where the bodies are hanging from the trees and like, oh, a drug cartel must have did it. I was not prepared for that. But there are a few that I've watched with my kids, like you said, and you tackle things from where you come from, right? I've always said everything I do is family friendly as long as you're my family, because I raised my family differently. And there are a few times, especially as my boys have gotten into that preteen and teenage era, like, oh, let's watch this movie. And I forget about the 5-minute long shower scene. And so instead of making it awkward, I'll just pause and go, you need a minute? You need to go, all right, there, cool. All right. Which embarrasses them. But have you done that? Have you come across something like, oh, I forgot?
Well, there was
That's the thing. Don't make eye contact with my kid right now.
No, but there was something. I don't know if everyone's seen Severance yet, but there was some scenes in that where there was no nudity or actual sex. There was just sounds and looks where they're looking at each other. I was like, we're sitting there watching with the kids. I'm like, this is worse. Like, I wish there was some nudity in this right now, but no, it was worse, and it is very awkward. But also, I'm trying not to make it too weird or react too much.
Yeah.
So they're, I'm like just chilling, like this is nothing, and hoping that they don't make a big deal about it.
Well, see, even as an adult, there were some movies that I've watched. My in-laws are deeply religious, and they had a specialized Blu-ray player that I don't even know how they found it, but
I've heard of these. That the parental controls.
Yeah, where you could download filters onto USB, and you plug it into the DVD or Blu-ray player, and you can apply certain filters. Like you can go in and customize. Okay, take out blasphemy, take out swearing, take out nudity, and it will like as you're watching the actual DVD, it will cut things out.
Does it cut like the scene or just the audio?
It depends on
the filter.
On the filter, but even if you remove all of the filters, though, sometimes it would glitch and there would still be filtered sections. Like I remember they were watching the Transformers movie, the first one, and they had cut out all of the filters. So they're like, oh, we don't need any filters for this. And even though they had cut out all of the filters, it still removed the scene where the dog is peeing on Bumblebee. And so it had a bunch of glitches where the scenes were improperly applied to the filters. And so they ended up, because that happened frequently, they ended up being like, okay, well, we just won't watch anything that we think needs to be filtered. So they don't subscribe to it anymore because it was a subscription service as well.
Can you cut the microphone for us though? Yeah. That way everybody for recording there, then we can hear it good.
All right. So at first I thought of one thing, but then as y'all were talking, I thought of the second thing. I'm gonna start with the second one. I would say that would be the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie when Ralph got jumped on the roof. I didn't realize that when I was a kid, but like as I'm older, I'm like, oh, that was bleak as hell. Like, got fucked up. Like I just remember the feeling as a kid, like so just like dog, man, that was like I don't know if I'll let I got two. I'm a girl dad, so I got a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old. And so I'm like, dog, it's gonna be a few more years before I let them watch that because that was kind of rough.
Yeah.
But a few years ago, I was looking at my library and I was like, oh, I ain't read Harry Potter in a minute. So since I was probably a teenager, and I'm almost 40 now. So I was like, oh, let me reread those. I reread those, and I'm like, dog, even in the first book, I'm like, these kids are idiots. I remember being a kid and be like, oh yeah, everything in them, like, yeah, I understand. And now I'm reading them as an adult with kids. I'm like, dog, tell Dumbledore. Like, why aren't y'all like doing something like this above y'all pay grade?
The Muggles had to see something, say something, sign. Come on.
But like just being as an adult rereading those, I'm like, and then book 5, I'm sorry. As a kid, I got it when it came out. I'm like, Harry's the man. Yeah, I understand him. As an adult, I'm like, this little prick is an asshole. The whole book 5, like, he's an asshole, the whole thing. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to watch, when I give to my kids how old they are and talk to them about it before I let them read that one, just for that part.
See, that's why I love different scenes in the MCU and Don Cheadle's War Machine. Just like, Cap, you couldn't have just jumped out of the plane. Like just little fourth wall breaking and stuff like that. Like just calling them out on like, couldn't you just done that just a little bit differently and it would have solved everything?
Now, what about things that were of the time, right? So I will always love and stand on how awesome Martin was. And I try to introduce my teenagers to Martin, and as they're watching it, their heads are like, "What?" And like, okay, I have to keep stopping the show and explaining what was going on culturally at the time. So I finally just gave up. It's like it's one of those you just had to be there moment.
Yeah, we tried that recently. One I really loved when I was a kid was the Wayans brothers.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I still loved it, but they were like, "This is not really funny to us." I'm like, oh, "You're wrong."
You're wrong. Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of one more that I wanted to mention real quick. When you mentioned the Wayans brothers, it made me think of Blank Man. And I absolutely loved Blank Man, but there is a lot that's inappropriate in there that went way over my head when I was younger.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's still a fantastic movie. Not one I want to watch. Let my kids watch anytime soon, but still a wonderful movie.
Hey, Kaz, can you grab the door and shut it, please? Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, real quick, just a small anecdote. So I'm I guess a mid to late millennial. So I grew up with like the early DreamWorks movies.
Okay.
So
all right.
going back and watching like B Movie now or
Oh.
like Megamind, those are like some horny ass movies. And it's just like, as a kid, you're like, oh, okay, cool, like superheroes. Oh, a bee that talks, that's awesome. And then watching it now, you're like, why are they talking about this? Like, disguised sex, like all this stuff, now, and it's just a little weird, but yeah, that's my little anecdote.
Yeah, the little innuendos that as a kid they always went over
The
your head.
best one though is Toy Story 2, where the horse's saddle falls off and it like protects itself. Real quick. It's hilarious.
And I wonder if everybody here is old enough to have seen the Transformers animated movie. Anybody?
The 80s?
Yes, in the 80s.
Too soon, man.
Where,
Too soon.
As a marketing tactic to get kids to buy new toys, they decided we're going to make a movie in which all your toys and all your favorite characters are killed right in front of you.
Right in front of
Including
you.
Optimus Prime. And this was just not even an idea that one person had, but that got through filter after filter after filter until it was finally this movie. Which, by the way, I love the movie. But nothing even close to that would ever happen. That they were like, we're going to kill all your children's favorite characters in the theater right in front of you.
In fact, it's going the other way. You don't leave anybody dead if they kill somebody. But yeah, who doesn't remember? You got the power.
I do. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, my son, I watched a movie with him. He's 18 now. So I'm like, okay, what's this movie? The Ringer. And he sat there and he laughed. And he said, "I think it's inappropriate laughing at this movie."
Yep.
But as he went through it, he kind of got it, right? I mean, they really do what they do. Another one, Monty Python: The Meaning of Life.
Okay, yeah.
So a friend of ours, they're from England, and he said, I'm gonna watch this with my daughter. And he watched it. And he said, oh, I forgot. The beginning, all that. And he stopped and said, "What do you think?" He said, I'm scarred, Father.
I'm scarred, Father.
The Ringer still has one of my favorite F-bombs from a PG-13 movie. When
But-
the F did we get ice cream?
But what I loved a lot about the movie. But even at the time it came out, there were protests and how dare you. It's like, and the disabled community that was part, I think it's Down syndrome and some other communities that are part of that movie. They're all actors who have those things. They didn't just take people and make them act, except for the one guy who dropped the F-bomb. And they even had to stand up and say, we finally get to see ourselves represented in a way we like. And it's even today, yeah.
So, hello everyone. To your point, I tried to read Harry Potter to my daughter and I stopped myself. No.
All right, which ones? Never mind, I won't say it.
But I guess the two movies from my childhood that I would not let my daughter watch would be Rocky, the first one, because he would not let. This might ruin a lot of people's idea, but he would not let Adrian leave until she gave him a kiss.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
In order to see that.
That was a cringe scene.
As a product of the times that shouldn't have been. Yep.
And Coming to America.
Okay, I wouldn't let his daughter watch that either.
My daughter is 10, and you remember the sister and the team were sitting there. They were watching the basketball game. She put her hand up under the and yes,
Yeah.
no. And I made a mistake last year, I was watching Blue Eye Samurai with my daughter because we love anime.
Okay, all right.
I had to turn it off. I had to
10.
turn it off.
She's
She was
10.
9. I didn't know because I didn't know.
Well, you know, there's this thing on Crunchyroll that says 16 plus. 18, yeah, all right.
Look, all I did. See, this is what I do. This is what I do. I tell myself, because I'm an author, so I'm writing and I'm like, look, I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna watch something new. I'm like Netflix, Blue Eye Samurai. This looks awesome. My daughter's sitting there, Daddy, what are we about to watch? This. And I played it, and I was like, hey, go downstairs with your mama.
Wait, that's such a good dad moment. I'm not stopping watching it. You go outside. We're gonna keep on going.